Because of a need for a small, versatile fighter in the Soviet Air Force, the MiG-29 was created. It was a Soviet response to the F-16 used by the United States. In 1977, a prototype 9-12 took to the air for the very first time. Production of the new Soviet multi-role fighter was greenlit in 1982. After the MiG-23 was retired from service in 1986, this model was put into use by Soviet Frontal Aviation. The MiG-29's remarkable agility helped restore the Soviet Union's standing as a manufacturer of formidable combat aircraft. In the West, this fighter is commonly referred to by its model name, the Fulcrum. Multiple hundreds of MiG-29s were produced. Roughly 1,600 of these aircraft were produced. Approximately 900 of them were sent abroad. Ukraine, with 6 battalions, is the second largest operator after Russia, including Fulcrum CS. Countries like Azerbaijan, 16, Belarus, Bulgaria, Cuba, Eritrea, Germany, Hungary, India, Iran, Iraq, Kazakhstan, North Korea, Malaysia, Peru, Poland, Romania, Slovakia, Syria, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and the former Yugoslavia are also players. MiG-29s are used mainly as air defense fighters. MiG-29 UB-2C trainers are in limited supply across all users. Air superiority and ground assault missions were both given to the MiG-29. A tactical nuclear strike was another mission for this multi-role aircraft. As such, it was equipped with RN-40 nuclear weapons, each of which had a blast yield of 30 kT. The MiG-29's main sensor is an N019 pulse Doppler radar, NATO reporting name, slot back, which is complemented by an infrared search and track system for passive tracking of targets and the plane's cutting-edge aerodynamic design. The team that made the MiG-29 realized that it had some serious flaws, so they made 2 much better versions. After the end of the Cold War, severe budget cutbacks meant that neither the land-based MiG-29M nor the maritime MiG-29K would see any more development. Meiji Maple opted for more targeted upgrades, with a focus on the basic MiG-29s used in Russia and exported abroad. A small number of Russian MiG-29s from the 9-13 series received the MiG-29S upgrade, the first phase of which included the addition of underwing fuel tanks. Whether or not additional enhancements were implemented in stages is currently unknown. They included a radar upgrade to the NO-19MP Topaz that allowed for the simultaneous engagement of 2 targets and a capacity to refuel in flight. The sensor could have worked with our 77 AAR missiles, which have a range beyond the human eye. Such options, in addition to Western navigation and communications technology and a retractable in-flight refueling probe, were later made available on MiG-29s destined for export. For airframes 9-12, the normal export MiG-29S was designated as the MiG-29SD, and for airframes 9-13, it was designated as the MiG-29SA. In reality, Malaysia's MiG-29NS are the more capable MiG-29SD. The MiG-29SM, while promoted as an air superiority fighter, emphasized its ability to carry out a variety of roles thanks to its TV and laser-guided air-to-surface weapons. The Russian Air Force upgraded more than 150 MiG-29s from the 9-13 model to be as good as the MiG-29 SMT, 9-17. The first fully standard prototype of this plane flew in 1998. Not all of the planned upgrades, like the N019Mi or MP radar, the modern glass cockpit, the significantly increased internal fuel capacity, the RD-43 engines, the improved serviceability, the addition of an IFR system, and the increased combat load, were to be included in the first upgrade. India has been using a version of the former Russian light aircraft carrier Admiral Gorshkov that has been changed and made better. This ship was originally built in Russia, but in 2004, an agreement was made to have it refurbished and sold to India. Additionally, the agreement included 12 MiG-29K fighters and 4 MiG-29 Kyubi conversion trainers. Additional orders for 29 MiG-29KS were placed by India in 2010. In that same year, the Indian Navy began using the MiG-29K in combat. The aircraft carrier was refurbished in 2013 and commissioned into the Indian Navy in 2014 as the INS Vikramaditya. corrosion reportedly caused significant damage to the Russian MiG-29 aircraft. In the normal Russian winter, these planes would be kept outside in the wet and freezing weather. Airworthy MiG-29 aircraft were sometimes put to storage, i.e., left outside, for decades. The result of this was even direr than before. The MiG-35 was designed as a possible follow-up to the MiG-29, Fulcrum F. The maiden launch of this multi-role fighter occurred in 2007. It has upgraded engines, modern radar, and state-of-the-art electronics. But there were no orders placed for mass manufacturing of the MiG-35. The Russian MiG-29 SMTs were retired from duty around 2013, and since then the Su-30SM multi-role fighters have been in use instead. It appears that the MiG-29 series of fighters are no longer in service with the Russian Air Force. By 2022, the Russian Air Force reportedly had 87 MiG-29 fighters of different models in service. Some estimates put the number of these planes in Russian service at 240. This does not count the planes that are no longer flyable but are still stored. By 2022, the Russian Navy would have had a total of 24 MiG-29K carrier-based aircraft in service. MiG aircraft has been struggling financially in recent years. Aircraft in the MiG class is no longer being manufactured at this time. In recent years, orders for new fighter aircraft have gone exclusively to the Russian Sukhoi aircraft maker. Pre-existing planes are the only kind this business works with. MiG Corporation has stated that they will be selling 60 hectares of property in Moscow in 2021.